Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. George here, and I'm going to bring to you another video about our beloved game, Advanced Squad Leader. And this time, the video will be about my top 5 FUBAR Advanced Squad Leader moments, starting with the number 5. So I'll zoom in on the map and I'll explain the situation to you. And I don't expect to recreate the dice rolls that for some of these situations are highly improbable, uh, but not maybe highly improbable, highly unlikely, but they can occur just the same. So I'm probably doing this video uh, a bit for therapy, not only because of the events that I incurred in the game, but probably also for some sad events in life, but we can't avoid them. With no further ado, let's zoom in on the map and I'll explain to you number 5. And number 5 has to do with sniper kills. So here's the situation. I'm sure you can see now. Let's center it on the screen. Right there. Here's the situation. So this fellow here, as you can see, is a 10-3 leader stacked with an 838 toting a demolition charge. And his objective is to ultimately reach, some people call it the church, some people call it City Hall. I think City Hall is more appropriate because we don't have a steeple and we don't have a cross on it. So that's his objective, and he wants to get there as quickly as possible because it's a 6-turn scenario and he doesn't have much time left. So what he decides to do is he decides to declare a dash. And so when you declare a dash, you're essentially dashing across a road hex, okay? And you're not using the road, but you're still on open ground. You're dashing across a road hex, and your opponent gets to fire at you with only half of his firepower. It's area fire. And hopefully at the other end of the road, either you're no longer in his line of sight or in cover. That's the best I can describe it. So he decides to voluntarily lose concealment and declare a dash because even if he doesn't lose concealment, his opponent will call it when the moment he gets out of concealment terrain and hits the open ground. So let's do it. So we declare a dash, and he's going 1 to here. At which point his opponent decides to fire, and all he has here is a 6-8, a LMG, and a leader. So the leader here is a very low caliber leader. He's not a high quality leader. He's a 7-0, but I find these 7-0 folks are probably more effective or serve more of a utility than a 10-3 leader. And I'll tell you why. First and foremost, this fellow still can move his unit 6 movement factors without going CX, and 8 if they want to go CX. Second of all, they avoid cowering, so they prevent cowering. And then if anything happens to them, the unit with a higher morale isn't impacted at all whatsoever. Yeah, because Tupitsov's morale is only 7, and the unit is 6-8. Now, how do we resolve this attack? Mueller is 3 hexes away, so out of the normal range of the 6-8, so the 6-8's defensive fire is halved. I'm going to put a defensive fire marker next to this fellow, not entirely on him, because the machine gun might still get rate. You see the little square 1 there means that LMG has a rate of 1, but since this fellow only expended 1 movement factor there, they wouldn't be able to fire on him again until he moves out of the way. So I'll roll and see what the dice gives me, and then I'll tell you what actually happened. All right. So, yeah, first fire there. I calculate that to be a 4 down 2, -1 for first fire and assault movement, and first fire moving in the open. Let's see what the dice gods give me here. 4 down 2. 4 infantry fire table, -2 to my dice roll. Well, I didn't cower, but I rolled ultimately an 8. 8 on the 4 is a complete miss, and this fellow would completely succeed in going there, and subsequent to that, I would be able to put down 2 residuals there because my LMG didn't get right. Right, my LMG didn't get right, and I first fired. Now, what actually happened in the example that I incurred in one of my several plays of Advanced Squad Leader and Vassal is that what had happened was the moment that leader moved into open ground, fired on, we got exactly a 4 on the 4, a 4 on the 4. I'm looking at these charts, but I'll pull up the charts here. So 4 firepower factors, and if you cross index, 4 on the 4 is a 1 check. So with a 1 check, he needs a 9. That dude pins. So where's the pin counter? There. Now the 838 needs a 7 to pass, and he passes with flying colors. So 6 plus 1 is 7. 8 would have pinned the unit, and the unit can now go there without the leader. But ultimately, what happened was a 4 was rolled, which is the Soviet sniper. And lo and behold, the sniper came here. And it was a big sniper, 1 sniper. I did a random selection, top, bottom, and as you can see, the leader just bit the dust. So he goes into the casualty pit. Okay, I'm just going to mark him offside as wounded, just to keep track of things. And then now, since this guy was eliminated, we have to pass a leader loss morale check. So he was dead, just kaput. Leader loss morale check, and they pass. So the 838s are otherwise invincible. So number 5 is undue sniper kills. Unwounded guy. All right, here you go. Now, what's my number 4? Failure of a +1 morale check. Now, I could have used the same units for the example. So number 5 is sniper kill. Here's the my number 4 FUBAR. Is when units with 8 morale break. So let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see who will fire at each other and see who gets the worst outcome. So here I got a 467, 38 LMG, and a 9-2 leader. He definitely has wall advantage because he's in open ground. There's no in-hex temp, so it's mandatory wall advantage. The wall affords him a +2 DRM for for the protection of the wall. Sorry guys, my Nescafe. Now ordinarily I should be drinking out of my custom-made, where is this? My custom-made cup, but I don't want to ruin it. And I made one for my son that basically what it has on it is a Raiders logo and the number 22, because ultimately he wants to join a football team and acquire the number 22. Anyway, let's fire Staller at the 6 to 8 here. So it's a 6 flat, +2 for the wall, -2 for his leadership DRM. And let's roll it. Boom. 6 on the 6. A 6 roll on the 6 table. Here's the charts. Let's go back to charts. So 6 on the 6, you cross index. It's a 1 check, which I should be able to pass. So here, he has to roll 7 or less. If you roll 7, the pin comes on. So let's see. Morale check, 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. Now, this lately has always been happening to me. He broke. So my number 4 FUBAR is a unit with an 8 morale factor not being able to pass even as measly little 1 check. Forget the pin marker, George. Staller did it. And mark him with a prep fire. Is that number 2? Where's number 4? Let's check out number 4. Let's see. We got, number 4. We've completely forgot number 4 because, so that was actually number 2. That's a spoiler. All right, number 4. Number 4 deals with number 4 and 3, actually. Number 4 and 3. Here you are. Notice this impervious monster. Notice this tank that allegedly won the Second World War. Good old T-34, 76L. And this is an 88L. Now, let's not talk about the rarity factors. It's a type of DYI, but it's a DYI for showing you the top 5 FUBAR moments in ASL. So, and I'm sure T-34s faced off with Tigers at one point or another. Maybe not in 42, maybe perhaps in 43, maybe even 42. Who knows? So, ordinarily, who should win this match? The Tigers should, because we got 11 frontal armor. Okay, and if we hit the turret, that number is encased in a square. That means we got 14 armor factors if the T-34 hits us in the turret. Whereas the T-34 has an 11 right there, an 11, okay, 11, with a circle, which means its turret is weaker armor, which goes to the next lower armor factors, which is an 8. And I found those on the RAT charts and on the MMP charts. In the MMP charts, there's a list of the armor factors and their aerial factor equivalent. Homemade charts, guys. On which I got armor here on table C7.11. Obtaining final to kill number, armor factor, and aerial factors. Aerial armor factors. Okay. And now the other thing you need to look at is, I'm not too sure if on the charts you got, let's see, let's take a look at the chart. So, ordnance to hit, ordnance to kill. This fellow, these charts don't have the armor factors, unfortunately. Do Neo's charts have to kill? Armor factors. There you go. So, ordinarily, an 88L, 2 kill number is a 20, right? So, you need 12, anything but a 12 to kill that T-34. Whereas the T-34 has a 76L, and the 76L gun has a 13 to kill number, but his armor factors at worst frontal armor is an 11, and 13 minus 11 makes it snake eyes to kill. Okay, so you either need to roll a critical hit, or with the 76L, with APCR, the 2-kill number is just a 14. So your probability of knocking this tank out is very low. But let's start the process and see how things would unfold if they got into a match. So here, let's first start by firing there. Right-click info. My APCR number can be a 4, a 5. Let's say it's 1943, so I need a 5. So right off the bat, if it's my prep fire or defensive fire phase, let's say it's prep fire, I would need ordinarily a base 10 to kill. So 10, a vehicular target type, I'm typing it out so I don't forget. +1 because I'm buttoned up, so that's BU. And -1 because it's a large target, denoted by the red front armor frontal armor number. Okay, and I'm declaring APCR, right? It's 1943. I need a 5 or less. If I roll a 5, that's my last round. If I roll over a 5, I got nothing. All right, I don't have any more APCR. So to hit, I rolled a 9, which means there's no more APCR, so you can go to depleted armor, click on APCR, and then click on depleted armor, and you can toggle it off and on. And right now I don't have APCR, so it's as if that shot never happened. Now I'll roll again to hit. 5, no rate, because this gun doesn't have a rate. That's what I needed the first time. That's what I needed the first time. So now I got a turret hit, which means it's impossible for me to kill him. But I did get that. Now I need anything but a 12 to kill him. To hit. 3. Nearly got a critical hit. Let's see on the 2-kill. Nothing. Alright, so let's say it's this guy's turn to roll. And he rolls on the 2 hit. Let's roll on the 2 hit button and figure out the math later. 5. What if I told you I had a situation where, of course, we're facing off T-34s, and then I rolled boxcars, which on the main armament. So which means, boom, right off the bat, bad things, main armament. What if I told you that subsequent to that, I tried to roll for mechanical reliability for it to start, and I rolled well, here I'm rolling fine, but what if you roll an 11 and it suffers delay, and if you roll a 12, it's immobilized. So that was number 4 and 3, which is main armament malfunction and immobilization, or mechanical reliability failure. I need coffee. That was 4 and 3. This was number 2. Number 1 is right here. So what do we got here? We got a Russian half squad with an MMG and a 8-1 leader. Somehow they approached each other. These 2 units approached each other and managed to keep concealment. But this fellow here became CX probably because he advanced in the previous phase from here to there, and that causes you to become CX because you're advancing in difficult terrain, And one way or another, let's just for the sake of the example, they they manage to meet each other uh, and become adjacent to one another. Both of them in in rally terrain, and now the German is trying to advance on City Hall, right? So it's the advanced phase, and ordinarily, what I tell folks I play with, and I don't know why I give this advice. I should keep quiet, but yeah, I'm teaching one fellow how to do advanced squad leader. So you gotta tell them about their options. You don't make the decision for them, but you have to tell them about their options so they know what they're getting into. You don't want to um, you don't want to win a game based on the other opponent's lack of knowledge of the rules. However, in a tournament situation, the less you say, the better off you are. You know, um, especially if the mistake is it's just not because of lack of knowledge, but negligence. Let's say, you know, what can you do? You win some and you lose some, and then it's not such a bad thing to do because hopefully the person walks away with a lesson learned, and that's about it. You know, and if you keep correcting them, they'll never learn. You know, that's how I see it. It works both ways. Anyways, for one reason or another, a fellow decides to advance in there into close combat, in the advanced phase. He's CX, and this dude is concealed. And at this point in time, um, the fellow up here is the attacker. Okay, and you reveal that there is a real unit there, and it's not a dummy stack, right? And well, he wants to go into close combat. Um, Now, the DRMs for the ambush roll are -2 each. That cancels each other out. +1 for being CX for the German unit, and -1 for the leadership DRM for the um, Russian unit. So it's +1 for the Germans, -1 for the Russians. Let's see what happens. And you got German first, rolled a 3, Russian, rolled a 2. So there's no ambush. I can live with that. Now they're both attacking. So they lose concealment for now, temporarily. Temporarily because if something happens, it happens. But anyway, when you go to figure out their odds, the Russian has 3 for the squad and 1 for the leader, makes it a 4. And the leader can team up with the squad. And so does the 467. Great. So it's 1-to-1 odds. -2 for the Russians. 1-to-1 -2. The Russian needs 7 or less, and 1-to-1 +1 for the Germans because they are CX. So the German needs a 4 or less. All right, so let's roll that as well and see how it turns out now. So German first, 4 needed rolled exactly what they needed. Yeah, no, rolled 1 less. So here you got it. Russians are eliminated, but not yet. The Russians can attack back. Russians attack. I didn't roll on the CC. I rolled on the IFT inadvertently. Let's roll CC. Russians rolled a 7, -2 makes it a 5, which is exactly what they needed to a half squad, the, uh, the German squad. So essentially what happened here is that the weapon was not eliminated. This guy was gone, and this guy was gone. And this dude here is a half squad. Guess what happened in the FUBAR moment that I'm talking to you about? This is also a FUBAR moment. You know, ordinarily, the attack should have been won by the Russians. Point final. However, in the FUBAR moment that I talked to you, I want to bring to your attention was what happened was um, there was no ambush, and the 467 not only eliminated the uh, 8-1 leader and the half squad with MMG, they rolled snake eyes, which means they eliminated everybody there, but not the weapon, because you got to roll a subsequent DR for the weapon to see if it was also eliminated. But it has to be lower than the black die, the non-colored die. It didn't work. So not only was the leader, the 8-1 leader, and the squad with the MMG eliminated, they got infiltration, which means they end up getting to advance into the next available terrain if they so desire. They had rolled for ambush infiltration. So that was the number one moment. Now here's another moment, which is an honorary mention. So basically, he is the phasing player. It's the Russian player turn. He's facing up against a 76 at point blank range, more or less. So a 76 star weapon at that range. Um, what is? Let's say they only have they only have HE. So with a 76 star, and they have no AP ammo. Let's just say they don't have any AP ammo. We're not going to look at the notes at the back of the counter. It's overscored, which means it's HE only. And HE 76 is a 13. Well, they have a decent chance. They have a 13. Do they? 13. No, that's heat. So, HE and flame to kill. 70 is a 7. 7. The only modifiers to get is if you have a rear target facing here. And double if it's a critical hit. So, 7. And if they hit the turret, the next armor factor up is a 4. So ordinarily they would probably need a 3 to kill that Panzer. I believe it's a Panzer 3. And the Germans have Stukas, 1939 Stukas with bombs. Okay, it's pretty powerful. Packs a pretty powerful punch. So fighter bomber, dive bomber 150. There you go. So what this fellow decides to do is not fire on the unit, but let go of the gun, and during his movement phase, his defensive fire phase, he lets go of the gun and goes like that, to there. And the German player decides to use his dive bomber at a point attack to hit this target. Now you got to do a sighting task check, and you got to look at the sighting task check DRMs, and I believe you got to roll less than 8. So let's take a look at those DRMs in the table. I'll tell you where the table is in a moment. Sighting task check. Smoke, nope. Target is in a building, woods, it's +3. And target is within 4 hexes of non-hip vehicle MMC friendly. That's another +4. Missed, no. Target is a vehicular, no. Target has entered a new hex, -1. Okay, so it's a +3, not a convoy. -2 for not entirely concealed. Let's say he was he was concealed. Okay. Oops. Let's conceal the dude. Okay. So I calculated the DRMs to be +4. I could be wrong. +3. Target is in the woods. Yeah. Let's say it's +4. Roll that task check. Setting task check. Now I'm able to do it. Now, the question to you is, what happens if I rolled an 11? Not a 12, but an unmodified 11. This fellow here gets to pick a target of his choice. It's called a mistaken attack. And the mistaken attack has to be incurred by the nearest enemy unit closest to him, which is this dude. So then this guy here declares a point attack there. And the point attack is resolved on the 0 to 6 column to hit, and we're now we might be taking the aerial factors into consideration. Here's the to hit dice roll. 3, that is a point blank hit. It's not a near miss. That is less than 5 or less than 5 on the to hit number. And then you look at the HE. You can fire his machine guns too, but that doesn't make a really big difference, I don't think. Go for the gusto. Why go for the pettiness? So HE, 150. That's a 16 to kill. His aerial armor factors with a 3 is just a 2. So anything but a 12. Go there. Roll into kill. And the thing is a burning wreck. So you flip over the airplane. You continue 3 hexes after. Kill the bomb. This guy is a wreck and a burning wreck at that. There's my lovely little flame. And off he goes into the wild blue yonder. Just like so. And if there's no AA gun around, or a heavy AA gun around, or a heavy machine gun, he's scot-free. He's scot-free and a happy lumberjack. Oh well. So that is my top 5 Advanced Squad Leader FUBAR moments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm noticing growth from for the channel. I do have some text videos, but I don't think I can attribute them to that. I think it has to do with the gameplay, Advanced Squad Leader more or less, and maybe a little bit of Second Front. So I thank you all for supporting the channel. Keep up the good work. Recommend and like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. I'm not doing this for money. I am doing it as a hobby and getting a kick out of it. Take care, guys. Have a good one.